She said blah 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 blah. So I'm like blah 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 wah wah wah. She get blah 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 blah. She said.
That's right, guys. DeadEyeVR sent out their haptic pistol attachment and the rifle stock for us to look at today. Let's get into it. Welcome back to The Construct. This is DeadEyeVR's latest haptic pistol accessory, the Enforcer, and I'm so excited about this product. We'll get into the rifle stock in a minute, but the unique features of this pistol accessory really stand out, mainly because of the options that you're able to control with this thing. But before we get into that, let's look at the hardware here. It's really sturdy. You can tell it's a 3D print. If you look really closely here, you can see the ridges of the 3D print, but it's solid. It feels really heavy and really sturdy to the touch. The Quest controller for the Quest 2, 3, or Pro will fit right here behind this latch, and it blocks it from doing anything until you pull it down. The battery was interesting. It's behind this little lock button right here. I did talk to the folks over at DeadEye, and they said they're looking at revisions to this, but it's a little homebrew looking here, but it has an attachment right here that comes off and plugs into your wall charger. I've only had to charge this thing maybe once or twice since I've had it. And needless to say, it's not all smiles and giggles. This adds quite a bit of weight to your hand, but they did include this nifty little knuckle strap. So the knuckle strap doesn't take a whole lot of installation, but there are some tension straps here, and it allows you to release your hand fully from the pistol, which is great because this gets tiring after a while just holding this up, but it also kind of braces you a little bit too when you're firing, which is kind of cool. And this is adjustable when you first get it. You will have to cut off the excess straps once you get this size down exactly to fit your hand, but I'm glad they included a knuckle grip or hand grip, whatever you call these things. So you have full auto, burst fire, and single fire, but it doesn't just stop there. You can also increase the fire rate or decrease the fire rate, or increase or decrease the recoil strength, or even the shot delay. Everything has been cared for. So let me show you what that looks like real time. So we'll click here on single fire or semi-auto. There's burst fire. And full auto. Now the red button plus the dial controls fire rate. So this is how this works. Hold the button, dial it all the way back to the beginning, and we have a slow rate. If I hold that, dial it all the way to the front, it's so fast it's kind of like a laser. I should mention here that the dial actually has a default setting. So right here in the middle, it kind of snaps. So you know that you're back to the original setting, and you can always just hold a button and reset any mode right there. So it's kind of hard for me to show you the recoil intensity because you're not actually holding it here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just put this down and let you see how much recoil intensity impacts the gun. I'm going to try to hold it about the same amount of tension on the handle so you can see how much vertical recoil happens depending on the setting. So let's go ahead and hold the yellow button, and we're going to return it back to default just so you can see where the baseline is. So you can see it kind of raised up a little bit with the recoil. So let's see what that looks like with it turned down. So you can see that was a lot easier to manage. Now all the way up to the max. So it's a lot harder to keep it straight with it set to max. And if you're no stranger to the channel, you know we have to try out the shot delay, and especially in the gun range on gunman contracts. Let's set it to the lowest setting here and take it for a spin. Now pay attention to the sound of the Enforcer on the right hand of the screen. It's a little early, and that's due to the settings. All right, so let's take it up to the longest delay. I was really impressed with how much this synced up. So let's do a real example. Let's hop over to the campaign of Half-Life Alyx, and you can see for yourself how easy it is to switch between firing modes and how much this can add to your gaming experience. Check this out. And then there's the rifle stock. Now, DeadEyeVR is selling the rifle stock and pistol as a combo, which is pretty cool. Saves you a few bucks if you don't buy them separately, but your pistol will have a unique connection on the bottom here for that rifle stock. And this is pretty cool. They figured out a really cool thing here. Let me show you. What DeadEye has designed here is a pinky release latch. It's pretty cool. It's within reach of everything else, your index here and your pinky here, but it allows you to pull off the enforcer from the rifle stock, but also when you don't pull it, it remains fixed to the gun stock. I've experienced this in other gun stocks where you're just in the heat of battle and you pull the top right off of this. This is a really cool design here. There's a little latch, and it seems like the screw is pulled back by that magnet a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional, but it really is simple yet extremely effective. And I know it seems like a lot, but in the middle of battle, after a little bit of muscle memory, it starts to feel a little bit natural just to be able to pull on the latch, take it off, use the sidearm, place it back on the gun stock, and get going again. It really starts to get to a flow once you get the hang of it. The front magnetic cup can bend down like this. So you can put this all the way down, like so. If you don't have a forward grip or just a vertical grip on your gun, you can put this down and you can move this all the way back like that. And then you have kind of an under barrel hold there. You can still detach the magnetic cup and put it back on. It's a little harder to find this way, but you can still do that, which is nice. So you don't have to have a vertical grip. You're not forced to use a vertical grip. And I should mention here, you could leave this unlatched so it can function also as a pump action shotgun kind of thing. All right, so one thing I want to point out is just kind of the give here. Like the pistol can kind of swivel around this a little bit. So if you push too hard, you'll get kind of out of alignment. I actually tried to over tighten this and I ended up breaking it. So don't be an idiot like me, but it didn't really help. This still has a little bit of give back and forth like that. So you have to try not to do that. But you can see here, the controllers are actually lined up really nice. You can still see all the sensors. The sensors are exposed here and here. So when you're reloading, shooting, taking this off, you never really lose your sensors. So that's always nice. And of course, with these haptic devices, the sound thing is something you're not going to be able to get away from. If you really want a real feeling of a kick, you're gonna have to hear it outside of the headsets. There's no way to make that much force without there being some sort of sound. So that's just something we're gonna have to get used to, or use headphones to get around that. But guys, this thing is awesome. I love the fact that I can use it with absolutely any game and I can tweak it just right to work with the guns in game. It's really, really cool. If you decide to pick something up like this, use the link in the description and it'll help support the channel. If you haven't subscribed, you should try it out. There's a button right down there, and we'll see you here next time in the construct. Peace.